At my sister's wedding, she ripped up my gift card envelope without opening it, sneering, cheap as always. It contained a $50,000 check she needed to save her business from bankruptcy. Before we move forward, please show some love by subscribing and share your location in the comments. I love seeing where our family is watching from. I watched my sister Kennedy tear through my cream-colored envelope like it personally offended her. Standing there in her $12,000 Vera Wang gown, diamond tiara catching the ballroom's crystal chandelier light, she didn't even glance at the contents before ripping it straight down the middle. "Cheap as always, Beverly," she sneered loud enough for the guests at the nearby tables to hear. Her new husband Darren shifted uncomfortably beside her but said nothing. "Probably another $25 Target gift card, right? How embarrassing." My throat tightened. I'd driven 6 hours from Atlanta to Chicago for this wedding. Spent $400 on a bridesmaid dress I'd never wear again. Endured 3 months of her condescending group texts about pulling your weight in wedding planning while I worked 70-hour weeks at my accounting firm. The torn pieces of the envelope fluttered to the marble floor. Through the rip I could see the edge of the check. $50,000. My entire signing bonus from making partner. Money I'd planned to give her because 2 months ago, she'd called me sobbing about her boutique marketing agency drowning in debt. "Kennedy, you didn't even look," I started. "I don't need to look. I know exactly who you are, Beverly. Always have." She turned to her bridesmaids, my cousin Margie among them, all wearing matching rose gold dresses. "Remember when she gave me a handmade coupon book for my 30th birthday? 1 free dinner cooked by me. Girl, we're not 12 anymore." The guests laughed. Actual genuine laughter at my expense. My chest burned with humiliation as Kennedy swept away, leaving the shredded envelope on the floor like garbage. Growing up, Kennedy was the golden child. Mama's mini-me with the same light skin, loose curls, and charismatic smile that could charm anyone. I was darker, quieter, always buried in books while Kennedy collected friends like baseball cards. "Your sister just knows how to work a room," Mama would say whenever I complained about the attention disparity. "You're different kinds of special, baby." Different meant Kennedy got the bedroom with the bay window. Different meant her college tuition paid in full while I worked 3 jobs and graduated with $60,000 in student loans. Different meant family dinners revolving around her marketing agency's latest client while my CPA certification barely warranted a congratulations text. But we were still sisters. Still shared secrets at 2 a.m., still defended each other against nosy aunties at family reunions. Or so I thought. 3 months ago, Kennedy had called me at midnight, voice raw from crying. "Beverly, I'm drowning. The business. I might lose everything. 60,000 in debt. Clients not paying. I don't know what to do." I'd listened to her sob for an hour, my heart breaking. "How much do you need to stay afloat?" "At least 40, maybe 50,000 to clear the immediate debts and make payroll for 3 months while I restructure. I just gotten my partnership offer. The signing bonus was exactly 50,000. I'd planned to use it for a down payment on a house. Finally stop renting my cramped 1-bedroom apartment. "Let me see what I can do," I'd told her. The partnership meeting happened on a Tuesday. Sebastian Moreno, the senior partner, shook my hand across his mahogany desk. "Welcome to the team, Beverly. You've earned this. Your work on the Morrison account was exceptional." The bonus check felt heavy in my purse on the drive home. $50,000. Real money. Life-changing money for me, survival money for Kennedy. I called her that evening. "Hey, about your situation." "Oh my God, Beverly, you won't believe what happened." Kennedy's voice was bright, excited. No trace of the devastation from weeks before. "Darren proposed. We're getting married. Spring wedding, I'm thinking the Drake Hotel, maybe 200 guests." Kennedy, that's amazing, but about the money you needed. I'll figure something out. This wedding is my priority now. Anyway, I need you to be a bridesmaid. The dress is only $400. Super reasonable. Only $400. My rent was $1,100 a month. Sure, I said slowly. But seriously, about your business debts. I've got some irons in the fire. Don't worry about it. Oh, and Beverly, please try to look presentable for photos. Maybe get your hair professionally done this time? No offense, but your natural look is a bit rustic for the aesthetic I'm going for. The call ended before I could respond. I stared at the check on my coffee table. Kennedy hadn't mentioned the debt again over the following weeks, but I'd heard through Mama that she'd taken out a high-interest loan, was barely sleeping, and had fired half her staff. I made my decision then. Family came first, even when family didn't see you. The wedding week was psychological warfare disguised as celebration. Kennedy had rented a massive Airbnb in Lincoln Park for the bridal party. All 8 bridesmaids crammed into a space that should have felt luxurious but instead felt suffocating. Okay, ladies. Kennedy clinked her champagne glass Tuesday evening. Phone's out. We need to talk budget. My stomach dropped. We'd already paid for dresses, shoes, makeup artists, hairstylists, and the bachelorette party in Miami that cost me $800 I couldn't afford. So the wedding planner miscalculated the floral budget, Kennedy said with a tight smile. We're short about $3,000. If everyone chips in $375, we're covered. $375? My cousin Margie's voice cracked. Kennedy, that's a lot to spring on us 5 days before the wedding. It's my special day, Jess. I thought you all loved me. Kennedy's eyes welled with perfectly calculated tears. If money's tight, just say you don't value our friendship. Emotional blackmail, Kennedy's favorite weapon. One by one the bridesmaids agreed. I watched them Venmo her, watched her smile grow with each notification ping. When she looked at me, I simply said, I'll handle it directly with the florist. Her smile faltered. That's not how. I said I'll handle it. I left the room before she could argue, texting the florist to confirm the actual shortfall. $0. Kennedy had lied. He was pocketing the money. That's when I knew something had fundamentally broken between us. Thursday brought the rehearsal dinner. Mama had flown in from Baltimore, looking elegant in navy blue, her silver locks pinned up. He hugged Kennedy first, longer, tighter. "Hi, baby's getting married," Mama whispered loud enough for me to hear. "You look like a princess." "Thanks, Mama." Kennedy glowed. "Unlike some people, I know how to present myself properly." Her eyes cut to me. I'd worn a simple black dress, appropriate but not extravagant. Kennedy wore cream Chanel. Darren's family filled the other half of the restaurant's private room. His mother Diane, a surgeon, looked skeptical as Kennedy dominated conversation. His father Jerome, a retired judge, kept checking his watch. "So Beverly," Diane said during dinner, her tone genuinely curious. "Kennedy mentioned you're an accountant?" "CPA actually. Just made partner at Bergen and Associates." "That's impressive. Congratulations." Diane's warmth felt foreign after days of Kennedy's coldness. "You must have worked incredibly hard." "She did nothing but study," Kennedy interjected, laughing. "Total bore growing up. I had to have enough personality for both of us." The table went quiet. Darren touched Kennedy's hand. "Ken, maybe." "What?" "I'm joking. Beverly knows I love her. Even if she doesn't know how to dress for nice occasions." Mama laughed, actually laughed, and something inside me cracked. All those years of being the responsible one, the one who helped Mama with bills when Kennedy was off networking, the one who drove home every holiday while Kennedy claimed she was too busy. "Excuse me," I said quietly, standing. I need some air. Outside, I called my best friend Shanice. I don't think I can do this. Then don't, she said simply. Come home. She's still my sister. Is she though? Friday night, alone in my hotel room. I'd moved out of the Airbnb claiming an early Saturday obligation. I held the check. $50,000, made out to Kennedy Patterson's soon-to-be Kennedy Harris. I'd written it 3 weeks ago after finally confirming through Mama that Kennedy's business was indeed drowning. The high-interest loan had a balloon payment due in 3 months. Without it, she'd lose everything she'd built, would have to declare bankruptcy. Despite everything, I couldn't watch my sister fail. Couldn't watch her dreams disintegrate. Blood meant something, didn't it? I tucked the check into the cream envelope, sealed it, wrote to Kennedy and Darren, in my neatest handwriting. Maybe this gift would show her I saw her, supported her, loved her despite her cruelty. Shanice called again. You're really going through with it? It's the right thing to do. The right thing would be letting her face consequences for once. Shanice's voice was gentle but firm. Your mama never held her accountable. You enabling this doesn't help. It's not enabling. It's love. Love doesn't require you to set yourself on fire to keep others warm, Beverly. But I'd already made up my mind. Tomorrow at the reception I'd give Kennedy the envelope. Maybe she'd open it privately, maybe she'd thank me away from witnesses. Maybe this would finally bridge the gap between us. I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I lay awake remembering every small cruelty, every dismissive comment, every time I'd been made to feel less than. And I chose forgiveness anyway. That was my mistake. The Drake Hotel ballroom looked like a fairy tale. $50,000 worth of flowers, white roses, peonies, and orchids, cascaded from every surface. The same flowers Kennedy claimed she couldn't afford Thursday. I'd figured it out last night. She'd already paid the florist. The $3,000 she'd collected from bridesmaids was pure profit, probably spent on the champagne tower currently sparkling under mood lighting. Breathtaking, isn't it? Margie appeared beside me, also watching the excess. Must have cost a fortune. At least $60,000, maybe $75,000. My professional eye calculated catering, venue, band, photographer, videographer. More if you count the dress and honeymoon. Margie's eyes widened. But she told us she had to cut corners because the business is failing, I confirmed quietly. This wedding is probably the worst financial decision she could make right now. Then why? Because Kennedy doesn't do anything small. I watched my sister float across the room, greeting guests, every inch the radiant bride. Reality can wait until after the photos are perfect. The ceremony had been beautiful. Kennedy cried genuine tears. Darren looked at her like she hung the moon. For 45 minutes I'd believed maybe everything would work out. Love conquered all, right? Then the reception started and Kennedy's mask slipped back into place. Beverly. She cornered me near the gift table, which was already piled high with elegant packages and envelopes. Where's your gift? Please tell me you at least managed something decent this time. I held out my cream envelope. This is for you. Both of you. She snatched it, examining the outside with naked skepticism. It's pretty light. Another one of your thoughtful but useless gifts. Time seemed to slow as Kennedy's manicured nails, rose gold to match the bridesmaid dresses, slid under the envelope's seal. But she didn't open it gently. She didn't open it at all. Instead, she held it up to the light, squinting. Can't even see anything. Typical. Then she gripped both ends and tore it straight down the middle. The sound of ripping paper cut through the ballroom's ambient music and chatter. Heads turned. Kennedy's bridesmaids gathered closer, sensing drama. Cheap as always, Beverly, Kennedy announced, her voice carrying. Guests within 15 feet could hear every word. Probably another $25 Target gift card, right? How embarrassing. My mouth went dry. The envelope's pieces separated in her hands, but she wasn't looking at them. She was looking at me, her expression triumphant, cruel, like she'd been waiting for this moment. Kennedy, you didn't even look, I managed, but my voice came out strangled. I don't need to look. I know exactly who you are, Beverly. Always have. She turned to her audience of bridesmaids. Margie looked uncomfortable, but the others, Kennedy's real friends, the ones who'd known her since college, were smiling. Remember when she gave me a handmade coupon book for my 30th birthday? One free dinner cooked by me. Girl, we're not 12 anymore. They laughed. Actual laughter at my expense. The envelope pieces fluttered to the floor. Through the tear I could see the check's edge. Blue ink. The number 50,000 partially visible. Kennedy stepped over it, literally stepped on my $50,000 gift like it was trash, and swept toward her husband. Come on, baby. Let's greet the Hendersons. They gave us that gorgeous Tiffany vase. I stood frozen as guests returned to their conversations, the moment already forgotten by everyone except me. Oh my God. Margie crouched down, gathering the envelope pieces. Her hands trembled as she fit them together like a puzzle. Beverly. Beverly, is this real? I couldn't speak. Couldn't move. My entire body felt numb, like I was watching this happen to someone else. It's a check. A $50,000 check. Margie's voice rose with each word. You were giving her $50,000 and she... Keep your voice down, I finally said, but it came out robotic. Keep my voice down? Beverly, she just publicly humiliated you over a gift worth more than most people make in a year. Other bridesmaids had noticed Margie's commotion. They drifted over, curious. Shauna, Kennedy's college roommate, peered at the torn check. Holy shit, Shauna breathed. That's real. That's her signing bonus, Margie said, anger making her reckless. Beverly just made partner at her firm. This was probably every penny she had. Wait. Another bridesmaid, Tasha, looked between me and where Kennedy held court across the room. Didn't Kennedy say last month that Beverly never helps her with anything? That she's always been selfish and tight with money? The pieces of my sister's narrative began clicking into place for them. But I'd known the truth for years. I need to leave, I said quietly. No. Margie grabbed my arm. No, you need to tell her what she just did. Why? So she can make it my fault somehow. The numbness was wearing off, replaced by something hot and acidic in my chest. So she can tell everyone I'm just causing drama at her wedding? Beverly. She knew, I said, the realization hitting me. She knew what was in there. She had to. That's why she made a show of it. I was wrong. Kennedy hadn't known. Which somehow made what happened next even worse. 20 minutes later, I was in the bathroom trying to compose myself when I heard her voice in the lounge area. Where is she? Where's Beverly? Kennedy sounded different. Panicked. Kennedy, maybe you should calm down first. That was Darren, diplomatic as always. Calm down. Did you see what was in that envelope? I saw. The whole bridal party saw after Margie. $50,000, Darren. She was giving me $50,000. Kennedy's voice cracked. That's enough to cover the balloon payment. That's enough to save the business. I pressed myself against the bathroom stall door, listening. Then maybe you should find her and apologize, Darren said carefully. Because what you did out there was cruel, Ken. I love you, but that was unnecessarily cruel. I didn't know. How was I supposed to know? You could have opened it before ripping it up. You could have not made a public spectacle of mocking your sister's gift. You could have been a decent human being. Silence. Then Kennedy's voice, smaller. She never gives good gifts. It's always something cheap or handmade or incredibly generous, and you're too self-absorbed to notice? Darren's tone had an edge I'd never heard before. Your mom told me Beverly paid for her laptop repair last month. And that she sent money for your dad's medication. And that she's been covering your portion of your parents' anniversary party next month because you claimed you were broke. That's different. That's family obligation. This was family too. She just tried to give you her entire signing bonus and you threw it on the floor and called her cheap. My hands shook as I held my phone, recording. Not for revenge. For proof. For myself. For the inevitable moment Kennedy would rewrite this story. I emerged from the bathroom to find Kennedy in the lounge, mascara smudged, holding the taped-together check. Darren stood behind her, arms crossed. Beverly. She stood when she saw me. Beverly, I'm so sorry. I didn't know, I swear I didn't. You didn't want to know. My voice was steady cold. Years of swallowed anger crystallized into clarity. You wanted an audience for my humiliation. You got it. Congratulations. That's not fair. Not fair. The words burst out of me. You've spent 3 months treating me like your unpaid assistant. You scammed your bridesmaids out of $3,000 for flowers you'd already paid for. You've made snide comments about my appearance, my gifts, my career, my existence since we got here. And when I tried to give you everything I had, literally everything, you destroyed it without even looking because you were so sure it would be beneath you. Kennedy's face crumpled. I'm sorry. God, Beverly, I'm so sorry. Please, I need this money. The business is not my problem. I plucked the check from her hands. Not anymore. What? No, Beverly, please. You made your choice when you ripped this up. I looked at the shredded paper taped together with Scotch tape someone found. Consider this a lesson in consequences. I'll do anything. I'll apologize to everyone. I'll tell them what an amazing sister you are. I don't need your approval anymore, Kennedy. I don't need your validation. I certainly don't need your fake gratitude. I turned to Darren. I'm sorry your wedding was ruined. You seem like a good man. I hope you know what you married into. Darren's expression was complicated. Sympathy, disappointment, resignation. I'm beginning to. Beverly, please. Kennedy grabbed my arm. I'll lose everything. The business, my reputation, everything I've worked for. Welcome to my world, I said quietly. I've been losing pieces of myself trying to earn your love for 32 years. I'm done now. The wedding's final hours played out like a tragedy. Kennedy tried to maintain her composure, but word had spread. Bridesmaids whispered. Guests who'd witnessed the envelope incident put pieces together. Mama cornered me near the coat check. Beverly Nicole Washington, what did you do? I tried to help Kennedy. She rejected it publicly. That's what happened. She said you're being vindictive, holding your gift hostage over a simple mistake. It wasn't a mistake, Mama. It was cruelty. There's a difference. I looked at my mother, really looked at her. When was the last time you asked me how I was doing? Not how I could help Kennedy, not whether I'd sent money for something. When did you last care about my life? Mama's face went through several emotions. That's not fair. You've always been the responsible one. You don't need. Everyone needs their mother, Mama. Even the responsible one. Especially the responsible one. I kissed her cheek. I love you. But I can't keep setting myself on fire to keep Kennedy warm. And I can't watch you pour gasoline. I left before she could respond. Margie caught me in the parking lot. That was the most badass thing I've ever seen, she said, hugging me tight. I'm sorry it took this long for me to see what she's been doing to you. It's not your fault. It kind of is. We all enabled her. Made excuses. That's just how Kennedy is. Margie pulled back. I'm done with that. And I'm telling the family the truth about what happened. Jazz, you don't have to. Yes, I do. Because you won't, and she'll spin this into you being the villain. Not this time. As I drove away from the Drake Hotel, my phone exploded with texts. Some supportive. Many confused. A few from Kennedy's friends calling me petty, selfish, jealous. I blocked them all and drove toward my future $50,000 richer and one sister poorer. 3 months later, Kennedy's business declared bankruptcy. The balloon payment came due and she couldn't cover it. She lost the agency, the office space, her staff. The high-interest loan destroyed her credit. She called me 17 times the day it happened. I didn't answer. Mama called too. Beverly, your sister needs help. Family is supposed to love each other. Respect each other. Kennedy did neither. I was in my new house, the one I'd bought with my signing bonus, arranging furniture in my home office. She made her choices. These are her consequences. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. There's a difference, though I don't expect you to understand that. I hung up. For the first time in my life, I hung up on my mother without guilt. Margie kept me updated through text. Kennedy and Darren were fighting constantly. He'd discovered more lies, credit card debt, borrowed money from his parents under false pretenses, her cheating with a client 6 months before the wedding. The marriage was crumbling faster than the business. She keeps asking about you, Margie texted. Wants to apologize properly. Says she understands now. She understands she needs something from me, I replied. That's not the same thing. 6 months post-wedding I got a letter. Kennedy's handwriting, 3 pages long, detailing her therapy journey, her realizations about narcissism and entitlement, her genuine remorse. I read it once. Then I filed it away in a drawer. Maybe someday I'll forgive her. Maybe someday we'll rebuild something. But it won't be what we had, because what we had was toxic, one-sided, and slowly killing the best parts of me. I'm thriving now. Partnership means challenging cases, respect from colleagues, financial security. I'm dating someone who values me. I've reconnected with extended family who Kennedy had monopolized. The check sits framed in my office, taped together, a reminder. Not of Kennedy's betrayal, but of the moment I chose myself. The moment I learned that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away. And I've never looked back.